Is America crumbling? And the markets get ready to make a huge move. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 27th, and my, oh my, look at where we've gotten to now. And all I can say is, Americans, be careful what you wish for. Because if you don't think you're going to get it, you're going to get it. You're going to get it right up your you-know-where. Because if you're going to fall for these BS that has been going on for the last 4 years, and I'm not talking about President Trump, I'm talking about the party that's trying to take over and convert us to more of a socialistic point of view, I think you better wake up, because this is going to be a big ugly. It's already been ugly. And it used to be things were settled at the voting booth, but not anymore. Now they're settled by riots and, using protests like Black Lives Matter, which is a legitimate protest, but of course, using these areas to bring in reinforcements, paid reinforcements from people that don't like President Trump because they have lost their power to steal. They have lost their power to get all that extra money from bad deals that America pays for, that you and I pay for. But you keep wishing for what you get, and you'll get it. And you know what'll happen? You'll be awfully sorry. But of course, it won't happen this election because, of course, President Trump will knock the crap out of Joe Biden, and he will retain his office. And you guys can cry for another 4 years about what's going on. And we can watch Congress sit there for another 4 years and do nothing. They've done nothing for the last 4 years, but they do talk about McConnell and how he has blocked all of their bills. Well, look, I'm not a fan of McConnell either. Okay, as you know, I'm not a fan of politicians in general, especially career politicians on either side of the aisle. However, let's compare what the Senate has done compared to what the House has done. And the House has done nothing but try to impeach, try to get out, try to claim criminal activity, which is you're starting to notice a lot of that criminal activity was actually done by the left, for the left, and it will continue to come out as we see. And I will happen to bet you, okay, that there's going to be another couple of bombshells coming out that will really set you on fire, okay? But it is amazing how nobody cares what Hunter Biden did, and that gets buried in the headlines no matter how much money he took, okay? But of course, anybody in the Trump family or their circle, boy, they do one thing wrong and man, they explode it all over the media because, of course, we have a biased media, which is just another problem, another thing to look at. But did you notice after the Breonna Taylor ruling, okay, again, that's a tragedy, but her boyfriend did shoot at the cops. Okay, so again, I am not excusing anybody, but it did go through the trial. It did go to the grand jury, and should we change the court system so that everybody can get the ruling that they want? Is that what we're coming to? That even the court systems are corrupt as well, and that if you don't get what you want, you protest, you riot, you loot, you break stores up, you hurt people. That sounds like a hell of a plan. Because the way I look at it, where did the U-Haul trucks come with those protesters with the signs and the bottles, the frozen bottles and all the other ammo to suddenly appear out of nowhere when, in theory, nobody should have known the bell, but let alone, here they are. As soon as it starts, they're out running. So don't tell me that wasn't prepared, okay? Let's not try to fool one another. I mean, you can be misguided by what you're saying, but let's not be fooled by what's going on here. These are paid protesters to create enough havoc, hoping to get you to change your vote. And of course, you have guys like John Legend, who says, if Trump is reelected, I'm leaving the country. You know what? Get the F out of here. We don't need you. This is the same thing we heard in 16. If you don't like it in America, get out. You know, the beautiful thing about America is you have every 4 years, you have a chance to vote somebody out. But if you get off your lazy ass and go vote and quit complaining and using your stardom as a stage, we might actually get some people to actually vote. But of course, you're too busy mouthing off and not doing anything. Go into those neighborhoods you want to help and give them donations, give them money. But no, rather, why don't you just get on TV and talk on your silly platform, okay? Because you're so wealthy, it doesn't really matter to the small guy, okay? You know, I want you all to remember one thing. You don't hear, okay, the poor out there mouthing off with their message and telling you that they want this to go to socialism. They want to have an opportunity like everybody else. But let's listen to the stars who talk out of both sides of their mouth, because when it comes to doing something for China, what else? They'll kowtow to China, get on their hands and knees and kiss their ass. But when it comes to America, oh, we hate Trump, let's get rid of him. Okay, let's create more issues than possible. So again, you can look at it any way you want, but if you just look at it straight without the hatred that you have for the president, then you might see the as they say, the forest before the trees. But, you know, as we near the election, and of course everybody's saying, well, Biden's got such a big lead. Okay, well, the first thing I can tell you to do is go look at the betting line. The betting line is about what they say a pick'em in betting. So that is not factual. And of course, as they're saying, there are many homeless voters, which means they don't know who they're voting for. Believe me, if they're homeless and they haven't decided by now, pretty much they know who they're going to vote for. Okay. And of course, if you're going to vote for Trump, are you going to tell a poller that you're going to vote for Trump? I don't think so. Whereas if you're going to vote for Biden, you're going to stand proud because I'm going to support giving up my money. I want to pay that extra 20% income tax in the state of Illinois. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to work real hard and try to get up ahead in my life and give my money away. That's exactly what I want to do. But of course, you know, so you may get what you wish for. I doubt it. But again, you can see it's coming, and which is also all this unrest, and which is potentially another civil war in this country, because you are creating, and remember who's creating it. Remember who all the big mouths here that are LeBron James, all the guys that are creating it, that all bent over backwards for China, the biggest offender of human rights in the world. But of course, they make a lot of money from China. So why would they open up their mouth about China? How could you possibly do so? But of course, President Trump came out with his new, as they call it, the Platinum Plan, okay, for African Americans, Black Americans, and of course he declared the KKK and Antifa as terrorists. Okay, which I mean, I don't know what you'd like him to do. Maybe you'd like him to sanction them and make them a part. Okay, because of course we know that Antifa is very much involved in this to begin with, to start off. And of course, let's keep protesting in Portland. Why not? I mean, let's just keep ripping the city apart. I mean, at the end of the day, you know who's paying for that too? We are. So, you know, again, let's keep destroying businesses. Let's keep the economy shut down, because at this point, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's a crock. And John Legend and all you Hollywood stars who want to leave, I wish you would have left last time. Okay, but unfortunately, there is no place like America. Even with the trouble that we're experiencing today, there ain't no place like home, as they say in The Wizard of Oz. And we'll get through this like we'll get through everything else. But again, you people that threaten to leave, I wish you wouldn't threaten. I wish you'd just get out, because who the hell wants you? That's the point. Okay, who the hell wants you? In the meantime, okay, you know, we've got still all kinds of protesting. We've got people looking for who they're going to vote for. But again, you'll see the election. I don't think it's going to be even close, which has been my prediction from for quite a while. Okay, but we continue to see, markets continue to move up. But what I'm really talking about here now is the economy is not, growing as fast as markets. But again, when you have, when you have no interest rates, and you force people to invest in the equities to try to get some yield, it's going to drive markets farther than they should be. This is a bubble, and we'll talk more about that in our market reports. But, again, I think, the Fed now owns $2 trillion worth of mortgages. Housing continues to go ballistic to the upside. Okay. I mean, once again, they're buying homes like they're free. And what are they really playing? They're playing the money game that interest rates will stay zero forever. And we know that doesn't have a good ending to it. That just does not end well. Eventually, this debt is going to have to be paid, and you're going to have a lot more trouble. And all you're doing is repeating history, as we have done so many times before, going back to Tulip Mania, the South Sea bubble, the tech bubble, the real estate bubble. We're just creating another bubble, which is just another asset bubble that is created by the embarrassment of a Federal Reserve. Okay, an organization that is supposed to be private, but really right underneath the government's thumb, and continues to print money at a pace that it can't ever sustain. And of course, you've got your friend Nancy Pelosi that wants $3 trillion more to give away so that people won't have to go back to work. And what is wrong with going back to work? Are we done working forever? Are we going to have just free money for everyone forever? Okay, let's just shut down everything and just give away money. Because listen, this COVID thing, this might destroy the world. But of course, we know it's not going to, and we know it's not even that bad anymore. And if you just let people out and build a herd immunity, we might actually get through it faster. But because half the country is closed because of the Democratic governors and mayors, right, you're having this continuing. So let's keep destroying small business. Let's put all the hardworking entrepreneurs out of business so we can make more room for Amazon and Walmart. And those guys just get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That is one hell of a model, Nancy and Chuck. I tell you, you're doing a great job to destroy this country you keep talking about small business, yet I've yet to see you do anything in your entire careers that benefits small business. Okay. But hey, look, we've got the ex-Deutsche Bank trader who's trying to manipulate markets and gets caught. Now, you have to ask yourself the question, did Deutsche Bank know before he had caught? Okay. Or was it a surprise to them too? I'll leave it up to you, but I will give you just my quick opinion. They always know. Okay. You don't think they don't know what's going on within their own bank. But of course, the trader probably made them a fortune. And so whatever fines they got to pay now, they'll pay them and say, okay, thank you. Just like the whale trader from the other places. Look, do you think any of this is new? They can crawl up you know what, that you know exactly what's going on. So again, let's not try to kid each other on what's going on. And of course, we've got a new Fed justice going to be named, Amy Barrett Cole, I believe. And of course, at the end of the day, when we look into this, again, me personally, I don't care. I'd like to see some changes in general. I will discuss in my commentary today. But the bottom line is she's going to get approved, okay, unless the Republican senators want President Trump out as well. But I believe that they will approve her fairly quickly. This will be pretty rapid, and that'll be the end of the day. Now, again, whether she's the right choice or not, I mean, personally, I liked the judge from Florida. But again, either way, it is what it is, okay? But at the end of the day, she will get confirmed almost certainly because it's only through the Senate. So unless 4 senators want to say no, and Mitt Romney, who is one of Trump's biggest directors, already said yes. So at the end of the day, I think that that's what it's going to be. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. I am Todd Bubba Horowitz, so we're going to step out here for a break and come back with our market report. In the meantime, don't forget our great brokerage partners. Again, I look at our brokerage partners. Now, I have brokerage accounts at other places. I have many brokerage accounts throughout different companies. I'm not going to name the companies, but for my commodities and futures trading, I go to CTG. First of all, they do all of my letter direction trading, which we do offer to our members if they want. There's no requirement. You can do self-directed, but we offer the letter of directions so that people don't want to be bothered or people that don't want to get emotional, like me. I just let them execute for me. They make the trades, bang, 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 it's done. But they have great customer service. Somebody needs them, they call, they get a real person, not a recording. And of course, they've got some great new products coming out that I'm going to help them introduce, which I'm excited about. And for equities and options, Tradier, I always ask you, it's $10 a month. I saw one of my members was paying $8,000 a month, and I go, why would you be where you're at when you can do for that same trading for $120 a year? $8,000 a year versus $120 a year. Which would you pay? I mean, that's only money out of your own pocket. In the meantime, Tradier's $10. They've got great stuff. They've got great customer service, and you're basically going through the same system because markets have to be posted the same way. Everybody has the same feed. So at the end of the day, look, they're great. They do a good job. Our partners are great. You want any information, I got a special link for both. BUBBA'S@BUBBATrading.com. Send me an email. And our commodity report, listen, Andy Hecht, 40 years in the trading business, trading physical commodities, graduate of London School of Economics, at one time the biggest silver trade in the world, now part of Bubba Trading, and is the #1 author for Seeking Alpha. You want a great report, this is it. And it's $100 a month and $800 a year right now. It is going up because we are going to spruce it up even a little bit more. And put it together. We will be presenting to you shortly. In the meantime, again, check it out, technimental at BUBBATrading.com. And, family farms, they do such a good job with their members. And again, they've got the same interest I have, which is why we align so well. It's take care of and help American farmers who can use some good guidance because they're too busy worried about the farm and taking care of business. So I'm really looking forward to that relationship, especially if I can ever get out of my house. And then, of course, don't forget about our high school program. If you want it, we're rebuilding it. It's Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's where you can help us out. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, and we're going to get back to the show right now. Welcome back, everybody. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, September the 27th. And, of course, markets were pretty wild last week. They started out and were down, like the world was to an end. They had an actual breakout to the downside. Okay. And we're down. And suddenly, as we might expect, out of nowhere came a rally. So we came out of consolidation, broke to the downside, and now they're consolidating once again at a lower level. But the price action tells you a couple of things. There is a major move coming. Now, I don't know which way. Okay, I cannot tell you. My guess is, as of right now, it would be down. Why? Because, of course, our algorithms are all short. So I have to guess which way the algorithm. Now, the algorithms could change and we could be long. But for now, the price action tells me to expect a move of probably 15-20%. Either way, I'm not telling you which way. Right now, I'm saying down because that's my position. So I'm speaking my book. I'm speaking the algorithm and nothing else. But overall, it is on the downside right now, but we did have a nice, big, juicy rally back in, which you assume is going to come, and the rally failed at resistance. Now, I guess early in the week will show us a story. Now, Monday will probably be a little bit slower than usual because it is Yom Kippur, and of course, so many people will not be working, but overall, that could also be enough to drive markets farther in one direction than the other because of the lighter volume. But we'll see. But overall, it'll take a couple of days. And the markets will start to decide. There's a huge battle going on between the bulls and the bears and the funds and the commercials. So we'll see. In the meantime, we remain short. We remain short all the metals across the board. And why? Because, again, the trends are lower. We're not trying to outguess or change the world. We're playing the overall price action, which is very easy to spot. And if you're using my algorithm, it's very nice because you don't have to get emotional about it. You don't have to use your opinion. So as I've written almost every day for Kitco, we're going lower, and we're going lower still. I think you're going to see still lower prices. Now, again, at some point that'll change, but for now, we'll be short the metals, gold, platinum, and silver. They had some nasty down days last week, and we'll see what goes on. And of course, crude, as you know, I hate, we're long. Okay, I would say probably 42 would be about the high, but again, I'm not going to get in the way of it. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, only because I know better, and I know not to be emotional about the markets or direction and not try to tell the markets which way they're going to go. The markets will tell you which way they go if you allow them. The dollar had a complete reversal and is now charging forward again, which again, to me, sends a couple of messages. Number one, we knew that the levels 92, 94 were important when we were short. And once we broke above, and now we're approaching the 95 level on the dollar. And really what that tells me is there's a lot of fear globally. Typically, when the dollar starts to charge ahead, even though the Fed is trying to keep it lower, that tells you that a lot of foreign money is buying dollars for protection because they're worried about their own currencies and their own economies, so they're forcing up the U.S. dollar. Now, we'll see. In the meantime, I really don't care about any of that. I'm just giving you a reason why if you want one. But overall, again, we're long dollars. We're short all the currencies now, which again, another sign that suggests we're probably going a lot lower. But again, I'm not predicting. I'm telling you only based on the algorithms. Natural gas is, kind of mediocre, turning back and forth, and copper has been working to the upside and is just coming right down to some heavy support, and it either breaks or continues back up again. The markets break. I'm assuming copper will break along with it, as they call it, Dr. Copper. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, it will be, and I will make the trades accordingly based on what the algorithm tells me to do without fail. And that's what I do. I don't try to argue with what's going on. I just follow directions because it's a hell of a lot easier to just follow the rules instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. Grains, they had a rough week last week. In fact, they were so rough that soybeans unfortunately reversed. So we are now short soybeans. I don't like being short soybeans at these levels. I think they're going higher, but I will wait patiently until we get a buy signal and get back in. We are still long corn and wheat. And of course, if they get a couple more nasty days, they'll be reversing as well. I don't want to be reversing, but I will if I have to. This economy is weak because there's just not enough places open. So we can't see, we're continue to overbuild supply to begin with. The meats, we're still long hogs. They still look great. They're now over 70, which is nicely higher. And the cattle, both fats and feeders, we're still short. Overall, obviously, I hate being short cattle here. I always say what I think and then what I have. I'm short, but I don't like it. But at the end of the day, when it's time, I will reverse. But I'd like to reverse now. Okay. But again, I won't fight it. And for those of you who like the sauce who asked me to cover, we are short coffee, we are long sugar, we are long cocoa, we are short OJ, and we're long cotton. Okay. Those are those markets. Those are actually my positions. So I'm just sharing with you what I own. I'm not making a recommendation one way or the other. That's what I have. Those are my exact positions. You know them all right now. In all 29 markets, I just gave you all my positions and which way I'm going and what I think. So, but overall, I can see the price action is making a suggestion. And you can even see it in options activity. Now, you don't see this or look for it, but there's been, for weeks, we were when volatility was trying to come back down, we were in a market that there was a lot of spread trading going on. So very neutral, which will typically drive volatility just a little bit lower. Suddenly, over the last week or so, we're starting to see a spike in volatility, especially in the spiders, which is concerning because the spiders are not usually ahead of everything else. That tells me there's some worry out there. But remember, the VIX index, although everybody says the fear index, which it usually rises on volatility because that's when people are panicking, but it's really designed on options being bought to open versus options being sold to open. And as I looked at some of the reports, they're buying lots of calls in some stocks and they're buying lots of puts in others. So you're starting to see that divide, which will create the much bigger move when it comes. Again, I don't know when it's going to come. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. Nobody knows. Let's not try to say that we know. Nobody knows. So for all the BS advertising you see of the promises and the secrets that you're going to get and the secret sauce, there is none. Price action is the secret sauce. The secret sauce, I will say this before we go to break, the secret sauce, when you look in the mirror, okay, that's the secret sauce. Once you can get that thing in the mirror, that person you're seeing in the mirror under control, you've just gotten rid of your worst enemy who costs you more headaches and problems when you're trading than anything else. So if you can get rid of that devil that looks back at you in the mirror in the trading world, you'll be in much better shape and your emotions will be much more under control. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. I am Todd Bubba Horwitz. Excuse me. And we'll step out for a break. We'll be back with my commentary and, of course, my football selection when we come back. Well, kids, again, I talk to you all the time about family farms every day. They do such good work, and they just take care of business. And I just think in my eyes, they do the right things. And that's what I'm always looking for, is for people that do the right things. Again, I like to align myself with them, and I'm very proud and happy to be with family farms. I'm also equally as happy and proud of the brokerage partners we have, because again, look, I have other brokerage accounts, but the ones I count on and use the most, CTG for futures and commodities. Why? Because they take care of business, because they do all my trading, plus my members who want it. Again, it's not a requirement to be a member, but if you're a member that wants someone to do the trading for you, letter of direction, it is CTG. Okay. And they've got some great new products coming out. They got great customer service. So in my eyes, there's nobody like them. And then, of course, for equities and options, I always go back to the same thing of $10 a month for Tradier. Okay. And again, at $10 a month, how can I pass that deal up when, to me, it's basically a no-brainer, okay, that I use Tradier, because it saves me basically a fortune, okay? I mean, if you think about the cost of commissions, all right, I'm paying $10 a month. How much are you paying? So we can talk about all the reasons and how much special relationships you have with other brokers, but again, for $10 a month, how can I beat that? And of course, as I said, I have other accounts elsewhere, but when I'm trading heavy and trading big, I want to be with the people I can deal with the best and save the most money, because at the end of the day, it's my money that I'm spending anywhere else I spend it. And of course, Andy Hecht with our Technomental Commodity Report. We're going to introduce a lot of new stuff, but the report as it is spectacular. And of course, Andy's the leading writer for Seeking Alpha. He's also been in the industry on both sides. So if you want to check it out, go to BUBBATrading.com, Technomental, and of course our high school program at patreon.com, patreon.com/BubbaTrading. Now, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz. And look, I'm not really, only because of this disastrous election cycle, and only because of what the imbeciles in Congress have done for the last 4 years, and what the Pelosi and Schumers of the world are doing. To me, that is despicable. Okay. Now again, I'm neither left nor right as a general rule. I am normally just a libertarian. But unfortunately, the divide in the country has come so far and so wide. And certainly I'm not going to lean way left, okay, and want to give my hard-earned money away. But in the meantime, what I'm really getting to here is it's really sad that everything we do now is a political reason, from the coronavirus, which is strictly split across political lines. Those on the left say close down the country. The hydrochloroquine is no good. The viruses are no good, because if it comes from Trump, it can't be good. And those on the right, open it up. Let's see what happens. And of course, what we're finding out is that the number of cases, even with the massive amount of testing that we're seeing now, are still going down. Okay, the mortality rate is just about the same as the flu now. So I ask you, should not America be open? Should we not have the choice of whether we want to stay home in quarantine, or go to work, or go out, or do as we wish? In my mind, the way I understand America was we should be given our own choices. And if I'm in a high risk group, then I should stay home. If I'm a young kid that's going to college, I should be able to go to college. Okay, everybody should know their warnings and their risks and be able to do what they would like to do. I think destroying a whole generation of children over this ridiculous feat is ignorant. I think, again, I've said this many times before here, you are killing young children from learning and getting any social skills. And it's not bad enough that our social skills have deteriorated so poorly over the years since the origination of the smartphone. the texting. Okay, so we've already destroyed almost all human communication. Now you want to take an entire generation, which for children, a year or two is a lifetime when you're 5, 6, or 7, and you're destroying that. So if that's what you want to do to get your way, hey, so be it. What can I tell you? My opinion is open the damn country up. Let's go. And anybody who don't want to be here, get the hell out. That's what I say. In the meantime, for football, tonight, we got the New Orleans Saints, who looked pretty bad last week, against the Green Bay Packer, and Aaron Rodgers, who looks really good. Now, again, I don't think this is a no-brainer by any means. I think this is more of a pizza and a beer wager. If you're going to play, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers, but just a small play, because I like the underdog better in a situation like this, and that will be the Green Bay Packers. The home field advantage of the Saints is not there right now because there's no fans. So just because I like the dog and I'm going to have some action, I can't sit there by myself and just watch it. So I will have the Green Bay Packers. But again, I think they are probably in a pretty good spot here. But New Orleans is obviously a very good team. But overall, I'll take the points and watch the game and enjoy it. But this is not something I would want to invest too heavily in. In the meantime, for all my Jewish friends, have a great fast. I know it's a tough time, right? Fasting hard, but have a great fast. And be well and enjoy the break of the fast tomorrow evening. All in all, Happy New Year, Lashana Tova, and to everybody else, have a great weekend. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update, but of course every Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.